We are at day 8 of the KJ Cash Bootcamp, and what we're going to talk about today is a simple, profitable strategy. Be your own bank. Be your own bank, as in you log in, you look at the chart, you see what you see, you take your trade, you log out, you would make a withdrawal. And this doesn't take a whole lot of knowledge. It just takes the discipline to wait for your confirmations. And it's only about 3 to 4 confirmations. We're going to go over and we're going to set our charts up from scratch. Now, when you first open up your trading view chart, what it looks like is this. All you have is volume as an indicator. And again, this strategy works for any type of pair, whether it's an indice, Forex, crypto, anything. It works for everything. I trade everything. And this works. I use this in confluence with my KJ Cash system, but when I was first starting to trade, I used it completely by itself for time-based trading and everything. I really like it, and we're going to go through it. So the first thing that you want is for your candles, instead of being regular candles or line or area, you're going to go ahead and put that on Heikin-Ashi candles. So what Heikin-Ashi candles do is it shows you momentum. When it's a flat top candle, you got sellers in the market hard. When it's a flat bottom candle, it's buyers. And when it's a doji, meaning you have wicks on the top and the bottom, neither are in control. And that's important to note. So you want to first put your candles on Heikin-Ashi, which does not count as an indicator, but it is an indication of what's happening. Now I'm going to take volume off because you don't need volume for this. Next, what you're going to go ahead and do is put on a super trend. And super trend is important because I do use the super trend in the KJ Cash system. And what super trend does is it just shows you the overall trend of the market. And this is a very, very nice indicator, especially for beginning traders, just so you can have an indication of what type of trades you should be looking for. Right now, the overall trend is a sell trend. Now, we are going to edit our super trend. So it's not a 10-3, but just remember the 10-3 is the overall. Now I'll show you guys something just as a little extra so you can see. But the super trend that we're going to use is a 1-1, and I'll show you what it looks like in comparison with the 10-3 so you can really know exactly what I'm saying. So if we go to the super trend, you double click it, go ATR 1, factor 1. Now you can see the 1-1 is a lot closer to the candles than the 10-3. And the 1-1 gives us a more immediate trend. So let me back up some. Let me see if I can show you like a switch. For an example, here, the super trend was at the bottom all the way up until here, while the super trend switched to this top. Here, you would have gotten stopped out. Price continued to work its way up. And then it finally dropped where the bigger super trend switched. Now, of course, the super trend switched again, which can happen. We look for that. But just keep in mind that this happens. All right. So we're going to delete the 10-3. We're going to stick with the 1-1 because the 1-1 is what we need for this strategy. Now, the second thing that we're going to need to add, super trend at the top, is SARS. So you just go parabolic, or you can even just type SAR, I think, and parabolic SAR will pop up. There's a number of different SARs. You can use any of them. The basic one is the one that I learned it with. You leave everything default. Now you can change the style to however you want. I put it as circles. I made my color white because my screen is black. Sometimes I'll have color changing stars on there. It doesn't get that deep though. You don't have to do that. You just want the stars to be on there. And just let me go ahead and mute everybody. There we go. Sorry about that. So you want the stars to be on there. And it doesn't matter what color they are or what they look like, but just recognize. And again, when the stars are at the bottom, you're looking for buys. When the stars are at the top, you're looking for sells. And you can almost look at those like almost like a trend line, and just wait for that trend line to either get broken or respected. But just don't look at it like that because I don't want to confuse anybody. So just know that when the stars are at the top, you want sells. When the stars are at the bottom, you want buys. Like, this is a very, very simple strategy. It doesn't take a whole lot of words. Top and bottom, buy and sell, right? So the last thing that we're going to add, so we got 2 indicators. The third indicator that we're going to add, and then I'll get into some bonus, is going to be the stochastic. And I love the stochastic. It always changes to stock. It gets so annoying. The stochastic is amazing if you ask me. Now, If you don't use it right, you will lose a little bit of money. But if you use it right, it will help you make a lot more money than you lost. Now, the settings that we want on this specific stochastic, and we're going to compound on this information, so just pay a lot of attention to what I'm saying right now, is going to be the 14, 6, and 6. For the style, we're going to make this green. We're going to make the orange line red. Okay. Our 80 is going to be red, and our 20 is going to be green. Okay. And this is color coded for a reason. We're going to go ahead and make our background pink because that's how I learned it, but you can make the background any color you want it to be. Just make sure that it's not all in your shit, but that you can recognize that it's there, okay? So with the stochastic, what the stochastic gives us is basically just an indication of when the market is overbought or oversold. An overbought market means that buyers have been in the market for a while, and it may be time for a reversal. It may be time for sellers to step in. An oversold market means sellers have been in the market for a while, meaning markets have been dropping, and it may be time for buyers to step in. So when our 1466 stochastic is above the 80, it's considered overbought. Now, for as long as it stays above the 80 and in the 90 area, it could be in a strong trend, and we may see price continue to rise. So just it being above the 80 is not an indication, but that's just letting you know that we're overbought. Same thing for below the 20, which if you keep in mind, that's why we made this green for the 20, red for the 80, because the green means it's oversold. So we're looking for good buy positions. It doesn't mean immediately buy, because as you see here, it was the most in the oversold. However, it bought here, right? It gave us the big buy later. We'll talk about that in a second. We'll go over that even more in our stochastic training. But right now, I just need you to understand that we're waiting for the break and re-break of these areas. So for the buy, for the BYOB strategy, what do we look for? Now that we have our 3 indicators, again, it's just 3 indicators in Heikin-Ashi candles. So anybody can use this. You don't have to pay for TradingView for this. What are you looking for? 3 things, 4 things. 4 confirmations, you take the trade. You don't have these 4 confirmations, you don't take the trade. It's very simple, and you're patient and you wait. If you're looking for a sell, first, we'll just do this. For sells, we want first a flat top candle. Secondly, and I'm showing you guys this. So we need to see a flat top candle like this one here, okay? Secondly, what we need is the SARS at the top. Third, we need super trend at the top. And fourth, we need red over green inside pink box. Okay? And that's for sells. So we're gonna make that red. So these are our sell confirmations. Let's see where we find them. And I mean, I have it sitting on top of them, but it's all good. And we'll see why this wasn't the best sell here. Even though it's like, oh, our stock is oversold, our stock is oversold. And this is a pretty good sell, depending on where you got in and where you put your stop loss. It stayed in profit, it did drop. But an even better sell is somewhere else on the chart. And we'll look at where. So, first thing, flat top candle. Do we have it here? No. Do we have it here? No. Do we have it here? Yes. Okay, so we got a flat top candle. Super trend at the top. Is the super trend at the top? No. So we don't have that. We need the super trend at the top. Super trend is at the top here, but there's no flat top. So let's just move over here. We got the flat top, super trend at the top, SARS at the top, red over green inside the pink box. Great sell entry. Where do I put my stops? For now, I mean, go back into KJ Cash Bootcamp and let's look at some pivot levels and let's look at some liquidity and let's look at some order blocks, and we're going to put our stops there. That's just all I'm going to say. But without that, What we're gonna do is just hide our stops over the last wick before the last push, which is an order block in case you didn't know. But if you want to know how to look at it, that's gonna be this bullish candle. Then we got this bearish, even though it's a doji. Put your stops here. This is the entry. Now, if you're extra patient, yes, you got this pullback here. We got another entry opportunity right here. We got a flat top candle, super trend, red super trend at the top. I guess it's technically this next one. We got the SARS at the top. The SAR broke, right? Red over green inside the blue box. Melt. It's very, very simple. Very, very simple. Let's see if we can find another one. I mean, right here. Now you can look at our stoke. You can say, well, the stoke was down here. Yes, it was. But that's why I'm saying as long as it's inside this pink box, it's outside the pink box, marks the potential for it to be a trend. You can get into trending markets outside the pink box. Inside the pink box, we're going to go ahead and pull that on. So right here even, we get to where we got our first confirmation for this actual drop. Right. Oh man, right here. The patience. This was the confirmation candle. We got a flat top candle, super trend, SARS, red over blue inside the pink. It's raining inside the stochastic. Look at the drop from this candle on. This was Thursday, 10 o'clock in the morning. Melt. Yeah, we got a little bit. But did we get enough to get out of the trade? No, it's just a flat bottom candle. So how do we know to get out? Just using this strategy, right? Well, let's look at our buy confirmations. Let's look at our buy confirmations and then we'll call it, because this is very simple, but I just want to make sure that we got it. So for buys, right? For buys, we need one flat bottom candle. Two, SARS at the bottom. Three, super trend at the bottom. Four, green over red inside pink box. Now there is other words for all of this, you know, the break and re-break of the 20 and all of this. There's no other words for that, but just for the sake of us understanding that this can be simple, we don't have to overcomplicate trading. We're just gonna say green over red inside the pink box. So let's see. And there's a lot of confirmations. There's a couple here. I mean, not really. If you look at it, I guess right here we got a flat bottom candle, red over green inside the pink box, SARS at the bottom. This was confirmation. It did get stopped out right here. If you would have put the stop, entered on the SAR flip, the very next candle gave us a doji. I would have been a little hesitant with this anyways. But just looking at it, I'm not gonna lie, we do see our confirmations here. So be very careful with your stops and risk to reward. And you know, just be very careful. That's one thing that I'm gonna say. Because this is the kind of stuff that is heartbreaking. I just had to look at it again. You will find this. And just for the sake of you knowing when this does happen, right? For one, I mean, this is not a bad entry. Even though it got stopped out here, price did eventually turn around. You got to ask yourself, where was your targets for one? And then for two, how did you manage this trade? Just for the sake of us actually going into it. Because if you got in this trade right here and you put your stops right here and you did get in profit, like it did push up 1, 2, 3 candles up. It didn't go all the way where we thought it was going to go, depending on where you thought it was going to go. But this entry, based on our confirmations, channel was broken. We'll get into that later. But let's just talk about it. Because at first I was feeling a little bad about this. But now that we're looking at it and now that I'm thinking about managing your trades and stuff, right? If you look at this entry with red over, where's our rules at? We got 4 confirmations. One down here rules. We got flat bottom candle, check. SARS at the bottom. Here's the SAR right here. Check. Super trend at the bottom. Check. And green over red inside the pink box. Check. That was in profit for 3 candles. The 4th candle, 5th, 6th candle brought it back out of profit, but we need to be putting our stop losses in profit and then waiting for the next entry. If you really think that it's about to buy off, even though you got your sell confirmation here, right? And there's a big ass sell off and it's in a downtrend, put your stop in profit. But that's entry 1. And every time we get all these confirmations, that's the thing, you will go in profit. Will it go all the way to target? Not. Will it go in profit? Absolutely. Let's look at it again. Right here. Now, flat bottom candle, yes. Red over green, yes. SAR at the bottom, no. Super trend, no. This isn't it. Right here, flat bottom candle, yes. Super trend, just switched. SARs, just switched. That's a buy. Did it go in profit? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles. Absolutely. You were in profit for 5 candles. Did it reach targets? Depending on targets. Depending on target. Depending on where you think it's going to go. For the big push. And that's the thing about these rules. If it works for the small push, like this sell right here, let's get our sell rules, right? And this is, we're just going to go over 2 more examples because it's going to start to get redundant because it's the same thing every time. All right? Sell rules. Same thing. Flat bottom candle, super trend, SARS, red over green. Boom. Wow. Right here. Now, some people would have wanted to get in on this candle, but there's no point when you can get in on this candle as it opens with the flat bottom, as you have your SARS at the bottom and the super trend at the bottom, and red is actually over green. And now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles of push up. And it actually started to break levels and come to targets. So BYOB is very simple. The stochastic in this sense, remember, just the red over green inside the pink box. It's something we're going to remember right now. We'll do it in more advanced stochastic training later. But this is BYOB. If you have any questions, just message me on Instagram, add me, send some comments, and I got you. I want to get you guys in my Telegram chat. I want us all to retire ourselves in the market. My goal is to retire 1 million people, have us all free from any company or anything. We just traders, just eating up the market. So let me know if you have any questions, and we will make it happen. Let's talk about it.